Rachel, there's nothing like Daddy's little girl. Isn't that right, Sarah? Don't worry, Rachel, you'll always be the first. But I think even you'll agree you haven't been anyone's little girl in quite some time. Part of it is being a teenager, and all of us understand that. But you also have a bit of a cynical streak inside you, one that must have come from me, because you certainly didn't get it from your mother or any of your grandparents. What have I been telling you since you were a little girl? People are going to lie to you and flatter you your entire life to get what they want. Boys, your teachers, your boss, and the government, especially the government. But when you want the hard, unvarnished truth, and someday you will, come to me. It might not be nice and it might not be pleasant, but that's what daddies are for. So I can't believe that it was 13 years ago that Dr. Dusty Rhodes, a.k.a. the American Dream, gave your mother the bionic elbow, literally yanking you out of her tummy and into the world. Right after you were born, 60 seconds old, the doctor handed you to me in the delivery room. I was 33 and I had never held an infant before. I'm not sure why, it was just one of those things. But it quickly became obvious that you were going to teach us a lot more than we could ever hope to teach you. They say people never change, but the first thing you taught us is that that proverb is utter baloney. Your birth instantly changed our lives forever. Me, your mother, your aunts and uncles, and especially your 4 grandparents. You were the first child, the first niece, the first grandchild for all of them, and now here you are, the first bat mitzvah. When I found out that your bat mitzvah fell on Halloween weekend, I knew that it would be a perfect fit. One night a few years ago, I don't remember exactly when, Daddy was busy watching one of his typical loving tributes to the human condition. Perhaps it was Reanimator, or Cabin in the Woods, or Circus of Horrors, or Insanitarium, or You're Next, or Sisters of Death, or Rabid Grannies, or Redneck Zombies, or Sleepaway Camp, or Bloody Birthday. Or Dawn of the Dead, the remake, of course. Or The Shining more than once. In any case, the usual screaming murder and mayhem was pouring out of Daddy's TV speakers, and everyone else in the family knew to stay as far away as possible. But not you. You walked over and sat beside me on the couch. I admit that I wasn't sure exactly what to do. I knew that any halfway responsible parent would immediately pause the film and shoo you away. But being a negligent and thoroughly irresponsible parent, I did neither of those things. After all, I had spent my entire childhood sneaking into Scanners, Friday the 13th, and Omen 3, The Final Conflict at the Omni, and I turned out just fine. And anyone who grew up down here knows that visiting the Omni in 1981 was a lot more frightening than any of those movies. Besides, take away the blood and the beheadings, and it was just like watching the Wiggles together 10 years ago, except the Wiggles were a little scarier. So you kept watching. Perhaps you thought it was cool. Perhaps you liked being scared. Or maybe you had absorbed Daddy's iron rule of cinema, that even the worst slasher flick is more entertaining than the best romantic comedy. But whichever one I happened to be watching that night, it was the beginning of a tender and fruitful cinematic partnership. And rest assured that these moments will always be ours and ours alone, mainly because your mother and your siblings will never come anywhere near us. Those 3 can't eat a bowl of Count Chocula without hiding under the covers. You're going to hear a lot of praise today for your beauty, your intellect, your friendships, and your endless accomplishments. Meanwhile, I can't believe I actually have a daughter who knows what CHUD stands for.
Do you want me to say
Yes,
that?
tell them.
It stands for Cannibalistic Humanoid Underground Dwellers.
Very good. So now that your mother and I have thoroughly embarrassed you and ourselves, I guess it's time to bestow some stale, trite, hackneyed advice for your future. I don't have a lot to offer because, to be honest, I'd much rather you take after your mother or any of your 4 grandparents than take after me. However, if I had to give you one piece of advice on your bat mitzvah day, it would be this. Don't hide behind the chainsaws. Okay, that's not it. Still good advice, though. Seriously, if you want a piece of appropriately cynical advice for your future, here it is. Life is a series of disappointments punctuated by the occasional success. This means that very few people get what they want, and those who do can never seem to hold on to it. If you like a brand of soap, you can bet Procter & Gamble will stop making it. Colgate will stop making your favorite deodorant. New Balance will stop making your favorite shoes. Levi's will stop making your favorite shorts. Your favorite restaurants will close. People you like will move away. And Supertramp will never reunite. Now I'm going to cry. Bad books are always too long. Good books are way too short. Your favorite team will lose, and the teams you hate will usually win and then make you watch while they celebrate on your home field. The people who love you might not love you back. Well, the people who love you, you might not love back, and the people you love might not love you back unless you get very, very lucky. But last and most important, and most cynically, the world's goal is to fill your head full of mush and then steal everything you've got. So when you find exceptions to that rule, stick with them because those are the people you can trust. We know you do a spectacular job today. We love you and wish you only the best. That's fine. You like it.